Good morning, everybody. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is Tanya Sidegigcrafts. You guys, today is a fun day. We're going to be starting a new journal today because I've got pieces I need to use up. I've got this beautiful, beautiful fabric. This was a bedspread I found at the thrift store, and it had some holes in it and stuff. Otherwise, I'd have thrown it on my bed because I absolutely love it. But I think it's going to make an amazing journal. So we've been working on this sewing journal. If you've been watching my videos, I did add a few pieces to it. Let me show you what I did, and then I'm going to kind of explain how I'm going to handle this video. So I added the tassel to it that we found, added some little corduroy hearts. Forgive Cassie in the background there. She's yelling at me. She just got food. I think her brother got more than she did, so she's yelling. Added this beautiful piece of fabric and some more hearts there. And then I added some hearts here on the front, and added some, let's see, I added this little, she's really going at it, this paper clip, or this safety pin with a spool of thread on there, so somebody could use this potentially, or just use it as a charm. Put a heart here. So I did add a few things on there. I added a few touches here as well with another clip and our bulb pin and some charms. We added some tags, and I think that's all I added off screen. So I wanted to kind of show you guys. But the reason why I wanted to show you guys that is I love the way that this one is. I love the cover on this one. I love the fold out. I love the fabric on it. It's really working out nicely. So the reason I want to show you that is because I'm going to mimic it in this one. So I'm going to make another. Now this was a baby quilt that I cut that was also torn up at the thrift store, and I brought it home and gave it life and added this on here. So the fabric that I'm going to be using is this one, and I'm going to be making it in layers. So I'll be using a piece of quilting batting. I'm putting 2 layers together to make it a little bit thicker and softer. And then we're going to be using this on our cover. Yes, we are. I love this one. We're going to be using this on our cover. And we're going to use this in here somehow. But I started setting some things aside. This has got to go on here. I started setting some things aside as I've been crafting, and I know that this is the direction I want to go. So I'm going to go ahead and make the folding cover for this, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, see you in a minute. All right, we've got our cover started. So, it's a 2-cup of coffee day, guys. It's a little hard time waking up this morning. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking I'd like to do. I'm going to have to back this because this paper is so fragile. So my question is, and I ended up using the pink on the inside. I was going to use it on the outside, but it kind of clashes really bad. Not that it's awful, but I thought this might be a little better to lend to the photo. I really love the blues in there too. So I'm wondering if, and I'm kind of considering cutting this right here to make this a little smaller to show the pattern of the fabric just a little bit more. I think I'm going to do it. Except that I left my trimmer in the other room. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, this won't be hard to cut, but I will have to cut my folder. So I cut this piece right here. Let me line this up a little bit, see if I can kind of do this a little less haphazardly, a little more carefully. We'll use this piece. We're not going to get rid of this piece. We're going to use this somewhere else in the journal because this is just amazing. I love it. It's perfectly aged and all that good stuff. And I wanted to tear that edge because it does give it a little bit different feel than if I had cut it. It's going to match. It's not going to match this perfectly because, of course, this is worn and torn, and over the years it's beat up. But it's going to look a little closer than a cut with scissors. See, that's going to show us a little bit more of that photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this folder and I'm going to cut it, glue it for a little bit more sturdy. But for this piece, I am going to need my cutter, so I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the cutter. Let's get it cut. Now, this is one of these cool folio fuller thingy-loos. We're just going to cut this front flap off. Front flap off is what I intended to say. And actually, if I go, I might be able to make something really cool out of this if I don't cut the whole thing. Let's leave it like that. So I still have a little flappity-doo. So I could probably make something fun. We're going to come back to that some other day. But for now, I need this. And I don't want this too much bigger, so let's do, well, let's just see the straight up measurements of this one. This is approximately, well, 5 inches by, we'll say, actually, I'm going to say it's not, but I'm going to say it's 5 and well, it is. It's 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. So let's go 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. A little bit bigger by 8 3/4, and that's going to protect that pattern. We're going to, I'll show you what I mean. We'll use these for something else. They're going to make great tags. We can use them in the same journal. Oh, see, yeah, no, that's going to be a little bit too big, isn't it? All right, let's cut off that 1/4 inch. We'll go back to 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Actually, I'm going to go 1 line less than half. So 5 there. That'll give us, that should be a happy medium somewhere in there. All right, let's see how that does. Yeah, I like that better. So I'm going to grunge up that back page so that it looks a little bit more fitting. But it gives us plenty of frame around. I kind of wish it was shorter this way. And I can make it happen. This would cut off that design down there. I'm not sure how much I care. Let's do it though. I'm not sure how much I care about. What I meant is about the edge being a little shy. Let's take off the word easy. As women, that's not necessarily a word we want to have associated with us. We'll just take that word off. We'll just do that. What do we think? Is that a better? Should I take off this piece too? Just a little bit at the top. Those we'll throw away. We'll throw away the easy piece too, just because, you know, like I said, it's not a word we want to use. Yeah, I like that. So we'll cut off about another 1/4 inch off the bottom. So we're at, let's go down to 8 and see where we're at with that. Just below, be right there. Let's see how that looks. So I'm just kind of eyeballing and seeing what looks right to me. That gives a lot more of that fabric around the outside. I think I appreciate that much more. Yep. I really do. That's pretty close. Actually, I could take probably another little bit off the bottom, like 1/8 to 1/4 inch. Let's do that. Right out, let's say, right there. That will be even better. Sorry for the back and forth. I want it to look nice. I really want to put a lot into this one. You'll see that I did leave a little edge on here. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut that off. I kind of like it there. Just kind of and then I could probably put like maybe the closure attached to that or something. So I'm kind of leaving it on there, and I'll decide later if we're going to cut it off or not. I could potentially even take a little more off the top or the bottom, but I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it alone because I want to also, I'm going to sew around it like I did this. I'm going to use the same stitching, but I also want to distress it a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and set that pattern piece aside. We're going to ink up the sides here a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and toss these. I could save these for something, and you know, saving strips is a good idea, but with all that I have, I don't need them. They're going in the trash. So we're gonna toss those and put my ink here on the side. I don't want to go, actually I kind of do want to go really dark with this, but I'm going to do a lighter color first. And I think I'm just, I say that, but what's on here is dark. We were using this one yesterday. So let's go back to a lighter color on the edge here for a minute. And I think this is going to have plenty of the dark in it that we won't have to go back around. Oh no, I am using, oh no, that's the orchid timber over there, or scorched timber, my apologies. I might have to get on another brush or something to go to a little more lighter color in the middle. Not a lot of this will show, but enough to matter. So just kind of go around the edges. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you caught the video yesterday with my daughter. We had so much fun. Make sure you watch it at least halfway through, because there is a giveaway involved. And she is gifting her project to someone. And some lucky viewer that follows the instructions. So make sure you check that out. Why is that so dark? What is this? Oh, that's the walnut stain. Well, that's why I'm using walnut stain. Okay, I was thinking I was using vintage photo for some reason, but you know, this is okay. This is fine. I'll just go really light. Once again, not a lot of this is going to show. I'm just kind of trying to go around the edges. You can really see, at least in person, I don't know about on the camera, but you can really see the difference between these two colors, honestly. This one has much more of a red hue to it than the scorched timber. It's beautiful. Now look how this looks different than it did before. See that? It looks much better. Much more old on old. And then when I scrape up the edges of this pattern piece, of the back paper, it's going to be even more so. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and sew around it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this a little bit in the center. Let's see. Oh shoot, she took my pen into the other room yesterday, and I don't think we saved it. I think it probably is on the floor in there somewhere. Let's see if I've got another pen that will work. This one has glue on it, so I'm thinking it must have been in a glue bottle at some point. Maybe one of these, maybe not. I don't know. It sure works. Okay. So we're going to hold on to this pen, because that's a good one for glue. I think I'm just going to put glue on here a little bit. I don't need to go to the edges because I'm going to sew it. I just want it to kind of hold in place. And I don't want to be moving this around too much after I put it down because it's so old. I don't want it to tear. So I'm just going to smoosh that on there and let it set for a minute. Get a sip of coffee. Alright, now I'm going to go sew this and I'll be back again. Alright, we've got this all sewn up. Now we just need to go, I love the stitching. It just looks so nice. I'm going to have to use that stitching throughout the journal to make it cohesive, of course. So we're just going to kind of rough this up. If you don't have one of them rough them up tools, I have one. It's here somewhere. You can just use the edge of your scissors to make that happen. You can get this as rough as you want. I don't want to go too crazy with this one. I do want it to look old and vintage and used and loved, but I don't want it to be too much on this one. I want it to look old and used and loved, but I also want it to look like somebody took really good care of it. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for here. So I may get away from that. I don't know. I hope not. We're going to do something different with those corners. So Let me get around here though with the scissors quick, just lightly. Ooh, I tore that just a little. But if you stitch first, if you do end up tearing, it will stop the tear. So that's the good part, and that's why I sewed first, because it'll stop that tear from going into the photo, into the picture, if you slip. That stitch should catch it, or at least minimize it. Okay, now for these corners, I'm just going to kind of tap them here on the edge of on my desk, just to make them not so sharp. There we go. And then we are going to, now I could have sewn this on there, and that might have been a really good idea. I probably should have. I probably should have sewn it directly onto here, but I didn't. So I'm going to have to, you know what I think I'd like to do? I think I am, you know what I was going to do, you guys? I was going to make this the top of it, but this is the front, so that's okay. It'll be the bottom. Because everything else laid out the way I wanted it to. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue it to the fabric, but I'm going to go back and do some hand stitching into the corners to make like that's how it, to make it look like that's how it's sewn to there. I think that would be cute. Or I could put some, what was I going to say, like metal, I don't know if I have something like that. I'll have to think about that a minute. Oh, I guess I left the glue gun on again. Oh, then it's ready for me. Okay. I'm going to glue it for now. I like the idea of making it look like I stitched it on there. Like do a couple stitches on each corner that are very obvious, like maybe in red would be cute, or orange or something like that. Even this bright pink would be fun. Just make it look like it was sewn there. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to, and that being the case, I'm going to keep my glue out of those corners so that I can sew into the paper. And I'm going to kind of just put this here. Squirt some hot glue in this way. I'm going to go towards the middle in case I want to put some more embellishments there. I'm not totally sure this is all I want to do to the front, so I'm kind of leaving my options open, and that's partially why I'm kind of loosely doing this, because I still have this doily also that I want to use somehow, and this might be something that I can, you know, cut and tuck under there, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure yet. So I'm just going to briefly tack this on here so that I can, if I need to tuck things under, I'm not at a loss. You know, I'm not going to mess it up or not be able to do so. So that's going to be, that's the start of our cover so far. So what did I do? I took this white linen and cut it, and then I put a piece of batting in here, and then sewed that together all the way around so it was a little squishy. And then we made the cover here and sewed around that and distressed it. Let's, I don't have pages or anything, but I'm not ready to stop yet. So let's make something that can go into it. Let's make you know what? We had that piece of card. Why don't we make a fabric tag that can go in there? That would be pretty cute. I'm not ready to quit. Are you guys ready to quit? I mean, that would be a very short video for me, wouldn't it? Since I did a lot of the work off camera. But let's make a fabric tag. Let's, I'm going to cut this seam off. I'm going to cut it a little lower. And the reason why, if you cut it a little lower, this makes a fantastic tab on a page to use these little seams. If you need just a little tab right there, there's one. You can just sew that, or glue it or sew it onto the paper. Same here. So, or that can go on a tag even. So those are great to keep. Don't throw those away. And then this one, this fabric was funny. It kind of ripped in one direction, not the other, which is common. But then when I tried to rip it in the same direction again, it wouldn't go. So, and look, it's gonna, anyway, I think it's sewn off. It's not sewn straight, so I think that's part of it. So we're gonna hold on to this. I know it doesn't look like much, but we can sure turn it into something. So we're just gonna set that aside, and we're gonna use the fabric for now. This was the inside slip of a dress that Chloe didn't want anymore, so she brought it into my fabric room. She said, here, use this for, do you want this for fabric? I'm like, no. And then I was like, yes, I do, actually, because this is a really great fabric to use. This is a really great fabric, in part because you can stamp on it, too. I love that. You can stamp on this stuff. You can do all kinds of fun things. Dye it, you know, add dye to it, not dye it. We don't like that word. That's a 4-letter word. But I do need to go on one. Okay, anyway, that's another story. That's another issue. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to distress the outsides of this one because it's also a bit... Where is my photo? My vintage photo. I don't want to go quite this dark, guys. I'm sure it must be here somewhere. Probably in the living room. I don't know. I don't know. So I guess we're using... You know, I was told the scorched timber oxide is very different than the ink. Let's try it. I haven't tried it yet. Let's try it and see what it looks like. And then we could actually add some water to it and kind of play with it and see what it does. Oh, that's interesting. I should have done this side, huh? Well, no, because it'll show through. I'll probably add paper to this side. We'll just... That's what I'll do. I'll add paper to this side. Okay, so let's do that. Can we add... Where's my water? Where is my water? I don't know. Where is my water? It took a hike. No, it's right there where it belongs. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Actually, I'm going to use the fabric to soak it up. I'm going to put some little water droplets and we'll just use the fabric to soak it because we want to kind of color that too, right? Let that sit for a minute. Here, we'll just do that. Because we don't want this to look perfect, right? So let's just go in here and dab that. That's pretty. Can you see the spots? It's pretty. And then, you know what I was thinking? Let's get out the, what's the green one? Moss, vintage moss or something like that. Peeled paint is beautiful. You do that. Pumice stone. You could use any colors you want. But I'm thinking bundled sage. Let's go with peeled paint. It's not the color I was actually looking for, but you know, if you can't find it within a minute, wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be. Let's grab this one. Add a little of that in there. Should I add a little more water? Yes, I should. Why, yes, I should. Try not to let that hit my water bottle or my glue gun. Here, let's use this to clean that up. Cute. Okay. Let's dab that. I like that a lot. Now I'm just gonna go around the edges then with the this one. And this is just the ink that's on my sponge already. paper is really wet, so I'm being a little delicate here. I don't have to. I don't want to have to stop again. I have to keep putting my videos together. I don't want to shake the table either. I'm so sorry. Alright, so we have this beauty. And then we can add some of this fabric. Where'd that go? Add some of this fabric. This is wet too. I may need to just go ahead and stop and come back because that is very wet. Maybe we'll just put that right in the middle and then put some design here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dry this, or I could just fast forward through it or cut it out later. I don't know. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and put the paper on the back side first so that I'm not trying to glue over the bumps or anything. I'm just going to get one of these papers. This is some of my favorite Temu purchase at one point. Should I just do it this? No, I want it to go this way. I want it to go again, I don't need to save those strips. I really don't. So if you saw our video yesterday, mine and Chloe's, we made those journals. We barely put a dent in my scrap paper at all. So it's kind of exciting to dig through it and see what I've got, and you know, just kind of play. Be inspired. Obviously some of those papers I hadn't seen in quite some time because they were way at the bottom of the box. And I can't lie, I got a little distracted by my daughter creating and doing her thing. She's she's amazing. She truly is. Okay. I've got some of her, if you're interested in why I keep saying, yeah, I'm biased, I am, but she truly is amazing. She's went to art school, and she has got a degree, and she loves all types of art. In fact, paper crafting is like one of her, that's not something she's used to doing, so I was really excited to see her put that little notebook together. And she was excited. She's like, let's do this, let's do this. I'm like, no, we've only got 30 minutes before lunch. You know, we've got to go ahead. Let's take our lunch. Take your lunch. And, because she was working the whole time. Shh, don't tell her boss. And, because she works from home. And so I told her, well, let's wait till after lunch and then we'll start. She's like, but I've got such a great idea and I want to get started on it. I'm like, yeah, I know, but you know, once you get started on it, if you have to take a break from it, it's hard to get back into it. So let's just wait. So, you know, it was fun to watch her put that together because that's not her normal medium. But she told me she made a journal the other day, or a book. I don't know if it was a journal, but no, she made an art book. She put a lot of her art from her school into, and she bound it into a book. So I thought that was pretty cool. It wasn't from school, it was from a project she did. I thought that was really neat that she did that she took that initiative and bound it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add this on here. I'm going to leave a little bit hanging off the edge. I kind of like that look, and I'm going to fray it a little bit more once it's on there. I could potentially sew that, but if I do, it's going to go back here, and it's going to be messy to write with or write on, so I don't think I will. Although I could, it would be kind of fun to do a stitch just across the top, wouldn't it? I think I'm going to do that. Let's pull a little bit more of this fabric just up over the top. Okay, I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay guys, I went ahead and stitched on the bottom too. I thought that was really nice. And let's go ahead and put in some decorative stuff onto this. I'm so excited. I love this. Let's find it. Oh, I can't find another spot for my coffee. All the spots are full. Everything's full around me right now. Yeah. Today's the day off. I've got to do something about it. So, oh, nope, I'm not going to do that on this one. I was going to say, I think I was looking at whale tail, what are they called? The punch last night. And I didn't like the ones I was seeing. I want one from a brand that I know. If anybody has one from a brand that's available, please tell me where you get it. I may have a die cut that does that, and I need to look through my stash today also to see if I can find it, because I want to make a whole bunch of them. I thought that would be a really good way to use some of my scraps too and have them ready on hand. But I don't have any made. So if I do have it in my stash, I don't recall. Let me see if I have a green, because green would be beautiful there. A green eyelet. I do have green, but I don't think it's that shade. Nope, that's not green. Well, I guess I think that's supposed to be. No, but that one color might be close. That might be what I want to use right there. They'll be our green. That's what I want right there. I like this one. Because I want to get some tabs and things made. And use up again some of those scraps and get them out. Get them out of the way and make something useful. So when I'm working, I have it right there available. Okay, so what are we going to put here? I do want to put some stamping on here because I can, and it looks beautiful and amazing and stuff. I could use some of the same stamps I've been using, but I don't think that's what I want to do. That's boring because I've been using those. So let's pick something different. Let's pick... Well, these are fun. We could use some flowers, some florals, which would make sense with the brown and greens, right? And I've never used these. These are the Bow Bunny Rose Garden stamp. These may have been gifted to me. I may have purchased them. I don't know. I don't remember. I do love them. So I'm thinking, I've got some green archival, and that's, I think, the direction I need to go with this. And I'm not planning to do the flowers necessarily, just the greenery would be great. So let's do that. Let's do that. And I need a platform. Will this one work? This one will work. That will work. Okay, not that ink. This ink. Archival. Why? Because if this gets wet again for some reason, the archival will not spread. It will be permanent on there. And this color is gorgeous. So put that there. Look at that. See, you can stamp on it. Isn't that beautiful? Should do another one up here. Maybe going this direction. I feel like it's going to have something in the middle. So if I kind of frame it top and bottom, I just ran into the eyelet there, but that's okay because it doesn't have to be a perfect imprint. I think that's stunning. Okay. If I had a red archival or pink, I might do something like that, but I don't. So I'm going to leave that alone. And I love that. I'm going to need to clean it. What else? Do we need to put something else on here? We could put beautiful would be fun. Sending love, wonderful. How about beautiful? I love beautiful. And who doesn't need to be told that they're beautiful? Everybody needs to be told that. Everybody. I can't think of anybody that wouldn't love to hear that. Hey, you are beautiful. See, didn't that feel nice? But it's true too. You are beautiful. I know you are. And I did it crooked, but did I do it crooked? It's a little crooked. It's funny, in capitals it doesn't look like it's spelled right. It is, but anyway. That's beautiful. All right, let's also put, I think I'm going to put some numbers up here. Enough of this beautiful sappiness. I'm just going to put this right back in here. That archival ain't going anywhere. Now I know I've used it. Okay. I've got some amazing stamps. Maybe use them more often. I actually cleared out a lot of them because I wasn't using them, and I thought, you know, I need to probably slim down my selection here. And I still have quite a... You guys, you know what I just found? Do you know what I just found? Holy cannoli. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. What? Yes, I did. I did find some red archival ink that I did not know I had. And you know what else I just found? You know what else I just found? Oh no, never mind. I put that there this morning. I thought I had an extra jar of crackle paste. I do not. All right, well, guess what we're doing? We're adding this rose on there because I said if I had some red archival, I would do it. And this presented itself because it's right here in my drawer that I forgot I had. I have all my archivals in my drawer next to me. I keep most of my inks on a cassette holder on the wall, but I keep my archivals because I feel like I use them more often, other than my, you know, my browns for my distressing and stuff. But this makes them, you know, grabbable. But this one being so big was at the bottom of the drawer. I totally forgot I had it. Let's see if I can kind of place this in there. Oh yeah, that's going to be cool. I'm okay with it being off the fabric a little bit onto the paper. That's totally fine. And even overlapping the stems a little bit is fine with me. Oh my gosh, this is so neat. That presented itself perfectly. Look. Yes! Oh my gosh, I love it. Do you love it? It still needs something. I think it's going to need, I think I know what it needs. It needs some, like, writing in the background. You know, not something you can read, just like a printing stamp, like script in the back. That's the word I'm looking for. Like notes or something that somebody wrote, you know, script. And I know I have those kind of stamps too. Here somewhere. It's one of my favorites. It should be here in the front somewhere. Or in the drawer. Let's see. This one would be kind of nice to use too. What's this one? Maybe that pattern one. I think I have a script. I can use this. I can use this as a postcard, but you don't have to use the whole thing. Just use like a piece of this. See? And then if you use it on... Ooh. Use it with black. I don't want it to be too strong though, so I'm going to be careful with that. Just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more than that. It's not really adding much. I mean, you want it to add something to your print. Maybe I shouldn't have gone sideways with that one. Okay, I'm liking where it's going, but I don't think we're there yet. So, one more. And this one I actually am going to use brown. My platform go right there. I think I'm going to use... I don't think I want to use timber. I think I want to use the walnut at the darkest, and now I can't find walnut. You guys. That's scorched timber. That's sapphire. I mean, I obviously just had it. I guess we're using scorched timber, but I'm going to use the oxide because it's a little lighter. How did I lose that? It's probably, you guys can probably see it. I probably just can't see it. Just kind of put some dots on there, a little pattern. There. Does that look kind of cool and beat up a little bit? Like it's been loved? You wouldn't know that a few minutes ago this was like all brand new fabric, huh? Unused. Now, because I didn't glue this down, we could potentially put a little note card in there or something. I'm going to leave it that way. I don't know that I'm going to do that, but I'm going to leave it that way. Now, I think we're going to leave it at that, you guys. I think this is going to be our video for today. I've got a lot of thinking to do on this one because I wasn't necessarily planning to do this journal just yet, but with everything out, I was like, yeah, I need to just go ahead and get these things put together, because if I can start putting them together, that means less things around me on my desk, less pieces to worry about. I'd like to put things away, but if I put them away, I'll never remember to get them out. So I wanted to go ahead and get this started. So today we've got done, let's just recap. Where's our journal? Right here. We've got our journal cover started. Right there. I'm really loving it so far. And then we open it up. We've got this bold, beautiful pink. We've got some red on the bookmark that we made for this journal. And I think we're well on our way. We've got so many fun things to use. I hope you guys will hit that like and subscribe button and keep coming back for more. I promise this is going to be a gorgeous one, because I'm super stoked, which means I'm going to put a lot of effort into it. So thanks for joining me today. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.